So today we're going to be talking about Santa Claus. Not that Santa Claus, but this Santa Claus. And also this Santa Claus and this Santa Claus, which eventually becomes this Santa Claus. Now, if you're already confused, don't worry, because in today's video, we'll be breaking down the infamous assassin Santa Claus in Chainsaw Man, and by extension, what I believe to be the most terrifying devil in the entire series, the Doll Devil. Santa Claus and the Doll Devil are probably one of the most memorable aspects of the entirety of the International Assassins arc, and for good reason, because the sheer amount of chaos and pure terror that they cause throughout this entire arc is something that sticks with you for a very long time, even long after you read the manga. And make sure you stick around until the end, because we're probably going to be talking about some stuff that you have never thought about before when it comes to these characters. It goes without saying that I will be going into full spoilers for the entire series, so if you're anime only, then make sure to subscribe and check out some of the spoiler-free Chainsaw Man content I have on this channel. But alright, let's get into it. So we're first introduced to Santa Claus and the Doll Devil during the beginning stages of the International Assassins arc, when we're initially introduced to the various groups of assassins from different countries around the world that are looking to capture Denji and take his heart. Well, at some point we get taken to Makima and Kishibe, who kind of discuss the situation, and the name Santa Claus is first mentioned, because apparently this is the assassin that they need to be worried about the most, and we're gonna come to find out why later. But we then get taken to Germany, where Santa Claus is from, where we see this frail old man reading a newspaper on a park bench. He's approached by a government official with instructions to capture Denji and take his heart. We also come to later find out that another objective given to Santa Claus was to kill Makima. Well, it isn't until later on in the arc that we actually see Santa Claus in action by merely touching the shoulder of somebody walking down the street. And this is when we get the first glimpse into the devil that Santa Claus is contracted with, of course being the Doll Devil, and witness the first of several abilities. The Doll Devil, of course, has your standard devil abilities like regeneration through consuming blood, growth of power via fear, and making contracts with humans. And in making a contract with the Doll Devil, these are some of the abilities that you gain. The first, of course, is being able to create dolls by simply touching them, making them these mindless creatures that can no longer become a human ever again, where these creatures can also manipulate their limbs to create blades and various weapons. We also come to find out later on in the arc that Santa Claus is also able to share its consciousness with other dolls that is transformed, meaning it has eyes and ears literally anywhere around the world, because it was implied that Santa Claus has these sleeper agents scattered throughout the world that at any moment can become the new Santa Claus, and this most likely is possible due to the secondary ability of being able to transform others into dolls, because the power of the Doll Devil allows you to transform anyone you touch into a mindless doll, but it also allows you to create what's called sophisticated dolls that appear completely normal, are capable of speech, and regular intelligence. We learn this after we come to find out that the old man that we've been following throughout the arc isn't actually Santa Claus, or really the only Santa Claus, because we come to realize that the abilities of the Doll Devil allowed Santa Claus to act autonomously through these sophisticated dolls, and the way that you create one of these sophisticated dolls is by making the target feel specific and strong emotions towards the one that has the contract with the Doll Devil. We see in the manga that Santa Claus does this to Tolka by filling him with emotions towards her of pity, worship, adoration, and the secret ingredient being guilt. So essentially you have to become an emotional slave to the holder of the Doll Devil contract for you to then become a literal doll slave yourself. And this transformation is complete by a mere touch, just like with the other kinds of dolls. And this aspect of Santa Claus's abilities granted to it by the Doll Devil does raise some confusion amongst the Chainsaw Man community, seeing as how it's not made really clear who the original Santa Claus is. And when we're originally led to believe that the old man first introduced at the beginning of the International Assassins arc is the original Santa Claus, seeing as how we come to later find out that Santa Claus is really split amongst several individuals, it makes it a little bit confusing. But seeing as how Makima and Kishibe referred to Santa Claus as an old man that was thought to have died of old age, it's safe to say that this old man is the oldest known Santa Claus that was currently alive at that time. And what I mean by this is that there's a possibility that Santa Claus originally made a contract with the Doll Devil many years ago, and has spent its entire life bouncing between primary bodies as it sees fit. Because an advantage that one has when using the power of the Doll Devil to do this is that each body that is controlled controlled by the doll devil can make its own contracts, therefore being able to make hefty contracts with devils like the cursed devil that normally would pretty much kill you after one use. All Santa Claus has to do is just use up one of its sophisticated doll bodies and just continue operating through one of the others. We see this when the female Santa Claus uses the cursed devil's abilities, and on top of that only had 6 months to live, more than likely due to all the contracts that it made using that specific body. So to be perfectly clear here, Santa Claus and the doll devil are two separate entities, Santa Claus being the theoretical original person that made the contract with the doll devil, and by using the power of the doll devil, Santa Claus has been able to live on and on through various bodies that it has converted. And this of course makes Santa Claus and the doll devil extremely hard to kill, because even if you kill one of its main bodies or one of its sophisticated doll bodies, it can just continue to operate through one of its other many bodies that it has scattered around the world and continue to make more and more dolls. Once Santa Claus obtained the powers of the darkness devil, it received a massive buff to its doll devil abilities. The first being that its mindless dolls are much more durable now, with even having their heads removed not being enough to stop them. On top of that, it's also able to transform its mindless dolls to have the appearance of normal humans that are capable of speech but still can't control their own bodies. We see Santa Claus use this against Denji to kind of guilt him into not killing any of the mindless dolls and being overwhelmed that way. We also see that the power of the darkness devil allowed Santa Claus to disperse the pain that it experiences throughout every single one of its dolls. So anything that would normally be extremely painful only feels like a minor itch, seeing as how that pain is spread around so many different bodies. And if it weren't for some intervention from the Cosmos Fiend, the doll devil would have most certainly completed its goal of taking Denji's heart, killing Makima, and coming to understand everything in the world and pretty much controlling it. And this is really why I think this is the most terrifying devil in all of Chainsaw Man, because unlike the darkness devil or the gun devil that can kill you instantly, pretty violently at that, the doll devil's power is not only physical but also psychological, because literally anyone in the world can become a doll. So even if you escape the doll devil, you'll have to fear for your life every waking moment that you live from then on, knowing very well that the ones closest to you, your family, your friends, any loved one, can turn into a doll in an instant and end your life at any moment.